Welcome, everybody, to Straight Shooter Wrestling Podcast. I'm one half of your host, Santi. I'm here with Steve with a mystery topic I haven't told him about. I wanted to get his raw reaction to the awfulness that I'm going to put in front of him, and we're going to have a conversation about it. Steve, are you ready for this?
I am ready, but I just want to say thank you, Santi, for fucking joining us because it's been a minute, man.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Everyone thinks you're not part of Straight Shoot anymore, and you very much are. So I just wanted to put that out there before everyone decided, like, ooh, Santi's not part of Straight Shoot anymore, blah, blah, blah. No, this man is here. He's still one of our conquerors and our OGs. So as
Matt Cardona would say, always here, always ready.
Okay, what's
Steve,
this?
the topic of the show today is that I believe that the best person to win Money in the Bank is Logan Paul. The best person to win Money in the Bank is Logan Paul. Allow me to explain to you why. All right. And this, to be fair, was not an original idea. I saw somebody talking about this on TikTok, and I'm like, damn. This is an excellent idea. An entire storyline about Logan Paul holding the Money in the Bank briefcase would have you, me, and the entirety of the WWE universe on the edge of their seat as Logan Paul essentially holds every world title main event hostage, because at any moment you have to expect Logan Paul's music to hit. And obviously that's the case with every Money in the Bank winner, right? Mm-hmm. Well, hey, at any moment we could expect LA Knight's music to hit. We can expect Seth Rollins' music to hit, whoever wins it. But there is no music that will arguably create more of a backlash, cheering, booing, a combination of everything than if we hear Logan Paul's music after a longtime workhorse like a Seth Rollins or a Cody Rhodes finally climbs the mountain, only to be dethroned by the guy nobody wants to be holding the world titles. And I think there is a beautiful story to be told here.
Okay, first off, I hate you because this is not a conversation that I thought I would want to have. But now it's starting to go through my ears and my mind, and I'm developing ideas. First thing is, you took the words straight out of my mouth. Holding virtually the WWE hostage.
Yeah.
Logan Paul holding the WWE hostage. And you know me, I'm all about long-term storytelling. And that is great storytelling. I'm not saying I'm a fan of this, but for everything that I enjoy in pro wrestling, I love a long-term good story. Now, first off, you know what my first problem with this is. It's Seth Rollins, it's Cody, it's Finn, it's Kevin, it's who else can we see? Potentially Dom, LA Knight. These guys who have put in the work for years. Not so much Dom. He's doing his job now, and he's doing a great job about it. But these guys who have put a lifetime worth of work in it just to have, and I'm going to get grilled, I don't care, an outsider get a prestigious award and then not give those guys the push that they deserve. I hate that.
But Steve, what you just described is the reason why you put it on Logan Paul, because this is how you create absolute nuclear heat on the guy that absolutely nobody wants to win this briefcase, winning this briefcase over every darling that we want to hold the briefcase. Everything you just described, I have all of those same feelings. Yep. But then I look at it from the lens of creative and trying to see it from a storytelling perspective. I'm like, damn, if you want me to hate Logan Paul, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. And you know what? Like, let's not discredit Logan Paul here. Like, he's an amazing in-ring worker. I think we've learned it. I don't think we can say anything otherwise. But he is such a dislikable dude in general. But that's why it works. That's why it works. And that's why, as crazy as it is, as much as I don't want to see it, I want to see it.
No, and Santi, also, I had this conversation with Wheezy the other day about how you can't really have a face carry the Money in the Bank unless they are an upper echelon, almost god level tier face like Cody or Seth, you can't have a face hold the Money in the Bank. It has to be a heel. Has to be a good heel. So the Logan thing does work. The other part that works, look where Money in the Bank is. London 02. If anyone hates a snotty American the most, it's the UK crowd. So Logan Paul wins in the UK. That is the closest thing you're going to see to WWE fans rioting. Like, they will be fuming. The worst thing you can see is probably Roman dropping the title in Saudi Arabia. This is probably the second worst thing you could book this year. But from a creative standpoint, I have to agree with you. I like it. I like it a lot. I don't want it, but I like it.
Yeah. See, like when you were talking about all of those superstars that should be getting this nod instead of Logan Paul, the whole time I was just like, there's the storyline. Like that's the storyline. The holding this precious thing that in many people's eyes, a lot of people feel like he hasn't earned, but yet he has, over everybody else that arguably deserves it 10,000-fold. There's the story. That's the, like, it doesn't have to be complicated. We don't need Logan Pauls. We don't need KSIs, as much as I want KSI because he's an entertaining machine. But it's such a simple story, right? It's just 2 + 2 = 4. We don't need a surprise debut from Solo Sikoa for Roman to retain the title. Like, it's just a simple little story of the guy you don't want holding the briefcase. And I think it can be beautiful. It can be beautiful, right? Just imagine a longtime workhorse. Picture when Daniel Bryan finally won it, the heartbreak when Randy Orton came out and didn't even have to hit a move on him. Right, because Triple H had already pedigreed him. He just pinned him. The heartbreak that led to just this amazing story, and I could just see the same thing. Whether it's Cody Rhodes, right? If Cody Rhodes finally does it, and then he gets cashed in on by Logan Paul, dude. Yes,
dude. I'll tell you right now. And the other thing I think we're missing here is the level of competition that is going to be in this Money in the Bank title match, or this Money in the Bank ladder match coming into the London 02. You have the likes of potentially Seth, Cody, Drew, Solo, Dom or Finn, or even Priest, somebody from Judgment Day, Logan. You've got guys that we could have a full 7-man match with all ex-world champions this year. Because all these guys don't have a path right now, which is great, because Puerto Rico, they're kind of just trying to fill these matches for Puerto Rico. Then they're probably just going to try and fill for Saudi. And then we actually have a pay-per-view that matters. So all these guys, and once the draft is done, you're going to have 3 from one, 3 from the other, or 4 from one, 4 from the other. Dude, we could have the most top tier grouping for a Money in the Bank match ever. And if Logan goes over on fucking,
it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Dude, you're not wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. I hate it, but I'm okay with this.
You're supposed to hate it. That's the beauty of it. You're supposed to hate it. Everyone's supposed to hate it. That's why it's such an amazing idea. Again, I'm not taking credit for this. I saw it somewhere else. I'm sorry, I can't remember whose idea that was. Yeah. But it's just, I'm like, man, I fucking hate it, and I'm in. You know, like, I don't think you watch Rick and Morty, but there's a meme from Rick and Morty where he goes, "You son of a bitch, I'm in." That's how I felt when I heard that. I'm like, man, I can't find any flaws in it. I really just can't. Because I don't like when guys we like hold the briefcase. I always like it when guys that, well, not necessarily when they don't like. When I say that, I mean heels, right? And some of the better cash-ins are always when heels does it, or when a face turns heel. Yep. Right. It's been a very rare. Here's the thing. The Money in the Bank briefcase being on a guy that we don't want holding the briefcase has not worked before. It didn't work with John Cena. It didn't work when Brock Lesnar won it, even though I like Party Brock, right? There's been guys that we just didn't want to see holding that briefcase.
Yeah.
And it's always fallen flat when they cash in. And I'm actually going to add Big E to that list. I don't think Big E should have won he should have won the title in a more organic fashion.
Absolutely.
So I actually add him to the list of people that I'm like, man, I didn't want to see you with the briefcase. And that always falls flat when it's somebody that you don't want to see with the briefcase eventually cashing in. It always falls flat. Yeah. This is, I think, the one in a million where the guy you don't want holding the briefcase works. And because I think it's 1 in a million, I think they should pull the trigger on it, because who else is going to be that guy?
The only other one I can think of, Santi, and it's one that we have been yelling from the rafters before this trend of him coming out as potentially the head or the main guy to win it, is LA Knight. I think you and I have been saying LA Knight since December.
Yeah.
Maybe before that. So the fact that I would love to see it be LA Knight. I would love to see it be LA Knight. A good heel that is still over with the crowd, which we're getting a lot more of. But fuck, if they put it on Logan, I'm just dreading it because I'm gonna be at Money in the Bank.
Oh, dude, people are gonna throw shit.
Oh, 100%. Like I will peg him with a big ass beer can. Like I don't care. I'll get banned from WWE live events. But it's just one of those ones where I'm just like, now that you brought it up, and I've gotten to think about it, I don't hate the story after it. So fuck, man, listen, it's a hot take and a half, but I'm for it. I'm not a Logan Paul guy, but the thing is, one thing you said earlier, everyone thinks he doesn't deserve it. The man has fought Roman Reigns for the title. The man put on an excellent show against Seth Rollins. Like, the man is able to hold himself at the top. And he's been doing it, what, a year? Yeah.
To be fair, to play devil's advocate, his only matches have been with bona fide Hall of Famers, right? Rey Mysterio, The Miz, Seth Rollins, and the Tribal Chief.
Maybe that's why he learned so quick.
Maybe. But either way, he's a draw, and we just have to acknowledge it. No pun intended. But just him holding the briefcase, I just think it's a beautiful story that can be told there. Just a beautiful, chaotic story. Thank you very much for watching this episode or listening to this episode of Straight Shooter Wrestling Podcast. Steve, where can people find you?
Twitch.tv/Mr. Tesh, and on TikTok, Mr. Tesh, and all Straight Shoot platforms. Santi.
You can find me over on twitch.tv/SantiZamp. You can also find me on TikTok over at Mr. SantiZamp. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Straight Shooter Wrestling Podcast. You folks take care and goodbye.